على بعد 15 كيلو جنوب القاهرة بين القاهرة وأبو غراب. هي منطقة تقع في مصر والجيزة على بعد حوالي كيلومتر واحد شمال أبو سير، على حافة الهضبة الصحراوية على الضفة الغربية لنهر النيل. تشتهر المنطقة بمواقعها الأثرية التي تضم معبد الشمس للفرعون نيوسرع، فضلاً عن معبد الشمس لأوسركاف، بالإضافة إلى أبو غراب. وكان لنا لقاء حصري مع أحد علماء الآثار من قبل البعثة الإيطالية، وهو الأستاذ الدكتور ماسبيرو نوزولو، الخبير في علم المصريات. ولد في نابلس في عام 1979 وعمل كباحث في معهد الآثار الشرقية الفرنسي فاو، وبعدها في براغ بالأكاديمية للعلوم ببولندا، وهو كو-دايركتور للبعثة الأثرية لمعبد الشمس للملك نيوسرع بأبو غراب. لقاءنا هيكون مع دكتور ماكس، وهو أستاذ بجامعة تورين بإيطاليا. الحقيقة هو بيقوم بالحفائر والاكتشافات في منطقة أبو غراب، والحقيقة الكشف يتم عن معابد الشمس. Welcome to our program. Dr. Massimiliano Nuzzo, we are so happy to have you with us.
My pleasure to be here, and thank you for the invitation.
First of all, since when are you here in Egypt, and when did you started your excavation or discovery in Egypt?
Well, the first time I was in Egypt was in 2005.
Okay.
I came after my graduation to know the country.
Okay.
That, of course, I wanted to know better and to understand all the tradition, all the customs, and, of course, for studying more in-depth pharaonic civilization. Then in 2010, so just a few months before the Arab Spring, I started this work in the Sun Temple of Nusra in Abu Ghraib. Then we stopped for a while because of what happened, of course, and we really restarted the work completely, let's say, à la tool in 2014. So far, we are working in the site.
So you started your discovery in Egypt, it started 2005, I think?
Yes, 2005 I was traveling, let's say, all over Egypt, yes, to know all the country, from north to south.
When did the aim of Egyptology started with you?
Well, the aim of Egyptology started when I was very young. I was really fascinated by Egypt, pyramids, Tutankhamun, and the secrets of this wonderful civilization already when I was a kid, when I was 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
And already back then, although it seems strange, I decided that I wanted to be an Egyptologist.
Dr. Max, we have common history between Egypt and Italy, Greco-Roman, and we have a lot of common history between Egypt and Rome.
Indeed, we have, and the Mediterranean area is a kind of big family where we share a lot of culture for millennia, not only in the past, in the Greco-Roman time, but also now. For me, as an Italian coming from southern part of Italy, I found Egypt much closer to our culture than Germany or northern part of Europe. So I really feel home when I'm here.
Let's start in Abu Ghraib, your works there, and it's related with Sun Temple. Sun Temples, they are only during the Old Kingdom.
The Sun Temples are actually only during the last part of the Old Kingdom, the 5th dynasty. They are built all of the sudden by King Userkaf, the first king of the 5th dynasty, and then continue until almost the end of the same dynasty. The biggest temple that we know is the one of Nusra, where we are actually working since 2014. And it's a very important monument because it is constructed for a short time for the cult of the sun god. That was, of course, very important in ancient Egypt. But also, I would say, for the cult of the king as a manifestation of the sun god. And in this sense, I found the Sun Temple amazing monument, because to find something like this, then we have to wait long time until the time of Akhenaton, the so-called heretic pharaoh, where he tried to, again, re-explore this specific monument, also Sun Temple, to stress the relationship between the king and the god.
For how long are you staying for your excavations and researches every time here in Egypt?
Usually we work here in Egypt for about 2 months, sometimes a bit less, sometimes a bit more, depending, of course, on the funds from the university and the Italian government. But let's say the average is 2 months, which is a good time to go in depth into the knowledge of our site.
So you start also at 6 a.m. in the morning or 7?
We start at 7, yes. Usually we start at 7, we work until 2, sometimes also in the afternoon. And then we continue, of course, at home to process all the data from the excavation.
With
laptop,
everything.
Especially with photographs, because we accumulate a huge amount of data of photographs. So it's a work that never stops. Start at 7 and finish in the night when we go sleeping.
How many members are working with you during your excavations?
The whole team is about 25 persons, but of course we are never all together because there is no space for all of us. Usually it's about 10 people at the same time, and we have specialists for any field, so for excavation, for photography.
One for photographing, one
for pottery, one for pure excavation, one for processing of data, photogrammetry, laser scanner, and all new technologies that we use during our work.
You have during your work there students and professionals who are working together with the mission during the time. One is responsible for the photos, some is responsible for the pottery and restorations, I think.
We have a very varied team, including professionals and students, and we try to cover as much as possible. So architecture, archaeology, pottery, drawings, study of the landscape, which is also very important recently, and especially new technologies, so photogrammetry, laser scanner, that give us a big improvement in the knowledge of the site.
What's the difference between the first visit and nowadays, especially in technology, because you are using photos, electricity, and internet, and everything? What changed?
Well, I would say that Cairo has changed a lot, and Egypt in general, of course, has changed a lot. But I sometimes feel more comfortable in the village, in Saqqara, where sometimes you have the feeling that the time never changed, never passed by. So some same rhythm, same calm and tranquility of the ancient time, let's say. So it seems to be in a village from the pharaonic time.
Meditate there.
Meditate, yes.
It's a good opportunity to relax or to meditate there.
The rhythm in Saqqara are absolutely different from those in Cairo. In Cairo, life is anyway frenetic. Cairo is a big city, modern city, addressing all the challenges of modern society. In Saqqara, you have the feeling to be back in the past in a way. And the rhythm are totally different, more relaxing, definitely.
Your research is always on ancient history or Old Kingdom. You stop by the Old Kingdom, or you follow up till the New Kingdom?
No, my focus is mostly on the Old Kingdom, on the third millennium. But of course, if you find something that goes beyond the Old Kingdom, I try to address it. As an Egyptologist, I need to know, of course, everything. From pharaonic culture.
But during the time you are working at Abu Ghraib?
Usually my focus and my specialty is the Old Kingdom. In Abu Ghraib, the site is mostly occupied by the Old Kingdom layers.
Only? No other time period after that?
So far we can say that mostly it's Old Kingdom, with possibly some few occupation from the early dynastic time, and up to the Middle Kingdom also. But it seems that at the beginning of the second millennium, so with the Middle Kingdom, the site was probably abandoned, at least until late. And when I say late, I mean very late, like Roman time. For example, the study of the pottery tells us that the landscape was indeed quite used for a long time, from the 4th millennium until the 2nd millennium. But then with the Middle Kingdom, everything stopped. So the site was probably abandoned until the Romans came back.
Very interesting. Your few words you use during work with your workers who are joining you during your work, I think your Arabic is perfect.
No, it's not perfect. بكلم العربي شوية شوية. It's okay.
But you understand.
I understand, of course, and it's okay to interact with the workers and with the
like what? At the beginning, to give them courage and
to encourage them, to push them to work. Yes, yalla yalla, basura basura, and other words, but also to be nice with them. For example, every Thursday, Yom al-Khamis, which is the end of the week, because then on Friday, of course, we rest. I used to bring chocolate to all the workers. So we used to celebrate somehow a small rest all together.
Very nice. So when we talk about Italy, you have a great culture, great history, and great a lot of civilization and history. And when we talk about Italy, it means bridges between Italy and Egypt. So you are also presenting that during your lectures in Italy?
Of course, I do present this important bridge. I do believe that Italy and Egypt are connected very deeply. And as I said before, sometimes I feel more comfortable in Egypt as Italian than, for example, in Northern Europe. So I really find our culture very close to each other. From the past, Greco-Roman time, until now, we still share a very important tradition. Just to mention one, the food.
Yeah,
Egyptian food, Egyptian food is delicious. I really love it, and is not so different from the Italian one, especially the one in the side. Not only pasta, but also other types of stuff that you have here.
Like what?
Well, for example, in southern Italy, we have something very similar to fool.
Fool?
Yes, or we have
Scandaroni or normal, ordinary fool?
The ordinary fool. And also this kind of cream of beans. And also you have a very common meal in southern Italy. It's what you call here cosa. That we also have in the southern part of Italy. So really I feel familiar for culture, and not only for the culture, for pharaonic culture. Also for the cuisine, for the sociability of Egyptian people. I found Egyptians great from this point of view, always open to welcoming any foreigner and without any type of prejudice. So I really feel home from all points of view.
كان الهدف من معابد الشمس التي جرى بنائها عندما كان فراعنة الأسرة الخامسة يزالون على قيد الحياة لمنحهم منزلة الإله. ومن ناحية أخرى جرى بناء الأهرامات كأماكن راحة، مقابر وأخيرة لضمان إحياء الفراعنة كآلهة في الحياة الأخرى. والاكتشاف الحديث يحدث لأول مرة منذ أكثر من 50 عاماً. تم التنقيب عن المعبد بواسطة علماء المصريات بين 1898 و 1901 من قبل لودفيغ بورشارت، وتم بناؤه لتكريم إله الشمس رع، ويقع بالقرب من مدينة منفس. ثم بناء المعبد جاء على أوامر من نيوس الرع الملك السادس للأسرة المصرية الخامسة. بنى نيوس الرع أيضاً هرم مركب الذي أصبح لاحقاً بها كان بالمقبرة الملكية على بعد 1 كيلومتر إلى الجنوب من أبو غراب في أبو سير. Let's go back to sun temples and the aim of the religious during this time for the sun temples. People during the ancient time to enter the temple, it was only for the priests and the kings. What was the purpose for that?
Probably the aim, one of the main aim of the Sun Temple was to stress the divine nature of the king. So the king didn't want to be with the rest of the people, but he wanted to stress that he was something different, more close to the god and especially to the sun god than to the rest of the people. And for this he need, of course, rituals, purity, and a special environment to protect him. So this is the main aim of the Sun Temple. So, and it's interesting that the Sun Temple appear in the 5th dynasty and then disappear at the end of the 5th dynasty, and we find them again only in the time of Akhenaten, another very special period of Egyptian history.
So it appeared again after 1,000 years?
For about 1,000 years we don't have any more.
A long time.
It's a long time indeed. Yes, it's a long time. That tells us that the Sun Temples were a very pivotal, very specific monument of the old king.
So the title of Son of Ra disappeared after that?
It is introduced actually at the end of the 4th dynasty and becomes very popular and very important in the 5th dynasty. And then it reappears actually with a big stress only in the New Kingdom, so in another period of Egyptian history, which is about 1,000 years after the Sun Temple, era.
Even after the Sun Temples, we have the pyramid text of Unas. Okay.
Indeed, Unas monument, Unas pyramid is very important because it's the first time that we don't have anymore the Sun Temples. It's the very end of the 5th dynasty, but we have the pyramid text, a big ensemble of religious formulas that practically had the same aim of the architecture of the Sun Temple. So there is a change, a big change in the religion that is trying to stress the divinity of the king in different ways, in different means.
As a professor of Egyptology, when you the Italian people asking you about Egypt, what is the most important question all the Italian people are asking you about Egypt, Cleopatra? I'm sure of it.
No, to be more trivial, everybody asked me if pyramids were really built by aliens or not.
Oh, really?
Which, of course, is not the case, because they were built by the Egyptians.
No, yeah.
But sometimes in Europe we have this, common opinion that it was impossible to build
pyramids. And they will
pyramids.
ask also about the tomb of Cleopatra.
I would say this is the second question, yes. Where is the tomb of Cleopatra, and especially what else can we discover in Egypt? Because it's a kind of common opinion that everything has been discovered already.
Yes, okay.
So when you say that you are still working to search something, it's a kind of surprise in the people to say, okay, you are still searching, there is still something to discover, and I would say yes. Every square meter of Egypt is a discovery.
Italians are also related with Alexandria. We had a great delegation of the Italian people. They lived for a long time in Italy. What are they talking about Alexandria and the aim of Alexandria nowadays?
Alexandria is really a city that connects Italy and Egypt.
I think so.
Even Italians that have been to Alexandria, they really felt familiar, let's say, in Alexandria more than in Cairo.
And is he the son of Amun or not?
We will see. When we will find the tomb, we will clarify many things.
People are always asking about Alexander the Great. Where is the tomb? And is he really a
divine being?
Yes. With the oracle, is it true? The tomb of Cleopatra. I think as an Italian, I think you have a lot of questions.
For us, there are still many questions to answer about ancient Egypt, but definitely I would say, for me, the most important is the pyramid age. So I'm a bit far from Alexander the Great.
Sun temples.
Not only the sun temples, let's say the third millennium in general, the origins of Egyptian culture. This is what really fascinated me more than anything else.
As an Italian, is there any origin related with the Egyptian?
Yes and no, I would say. Yes, because Mediterranean area is, of course...
Tell me which part.
Well, personally, my family has Sicilian origins. And as you know, Sicily was conquered by Arabs for about 200 years. And still now, Sicily is really a melting pot of cultures. So maybe inside of me, in the blood, there is something that connects me with Egypt.
Very interesting. You know, it's very interesting. Even your features are looking like Egyptian.
This is a great advantage because everybody talks to me
problem when you are
in Arabic.
Anywhere.
I can go anywhere I want. Nobody is bothering me.
And people are talking to you in Egyptian language, in Arabic.
Always in Arabic.
Yeah.
And they are always welcoming me, so they feel I'm Egyptian, so they open the doors wherever I go.
That's great. So, what are you expecting for all the Italian missions who are working in Egypt for the next coming years? Because you have a lot of missions here in Egypt, you have in Fayoum, you have in Delta, a lot of missions in Delta and Fayoum, especially in Fayoum, in I think in Minya too.
In the area of Minya. Well, Italy has a big tradition of archaeological excavation in Fayoum, because Fayoum was the main site probably in the Roman time, in the Greek Roman time.
Yes.
That's why many missions from Italy are working there. But in the last 10 years, I would say Italy has opened a bit, let's say, has make wider horizon of research, because now we have missions from the Delta to Aswan. So really we have the complete, we can explore the complete Nile.
Notice the difference between the people in Cairo or the people in Alexandria. Tell me the difference. The people are in Alexandria more calm.
Well, I would say in a way, yes, but also you feel a Mediterranean atmosphere in Alexandria, probably more than in Cairo, with being more open, let's say, to many aspects of social life. That in Cairo you don't find, but I think it's a matter of the size of the city. Cairo is frenetic, it's huge. So of course Alexandria has a different sides, and also the life is a bit calmer, let's say, than Cairo.
Okay. A word in Arabic, proper Arabic, to our audience.
Maybe مشاكرين جدا.
متشكر جدا.
مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.
إن شاء الله أشوفك السنة الجاية.
السنة الجاية. تم بناء المعبد الرئيسي على تلال طبيعية تم تعزيزها، ثم تم إنشاء شرفات اصطناعية على هذا التل باستخدام الطوب اللبن الذي تم تغطيته في وقت لاحق بالحجر الجيري، ثم تم بناء المعبد على رأس هذه المدرجات. المعبد مستطيل الشكل، والمدخل في الجانب الشرقي داخل المعبد يوجد فناء كبير مفتوح في حجرية كبيرة ترمز إلى مكان استراحة الشمس. الطرف الغربي من الفناء توجد أنقاض مسلة رع عبارة عن أساسات مع جوانب منحدرة وقمة مربعة في وسط الفناء. بالقرب من الجانب الشرقي من قاعدة المسلة يقع المسبح الكبير من المرمر. وستظل الحضارة المصرية القديمة هي الجسر بين مصر والعالم.